ustedes han pensado en todos los actores que salen en las películas de Harry Potter, pero no nada más los famosos, los que están en el fondo, los que a veces no dicen nada, los que ustedes y nosotros conocemos como extras.
We arrived at 7:45. We got changed into our costumes, and I've never done anything like this, so it's a really great experience.
So we come in and then we get robed straight into our costumes. Then we have our breakfast, which is either English breakfast or snacks. And then we go and have a bit of school time, which we do a basic subject. And then we go back and get our clothes on. And then we come to the cathedral and we do some filming. And then we have to have breaks in between. So that's how they go to shoot.
Well, I waved down your outfits, and then you go to my outfits.
Basically, we're about to go back on set. We've spent a good couple of hours filming beforehand and didn't really get much in.
Well, we got it done, but obviously they've got to do different films, different scenes and from different angles. So I think we're going back and doing the same again, but from a different angle.
So we're basically walking the same 20 metres over and over again.
Don't you trust me?
Good. Just
Como confirman nuestros jóvenes actores, en este filme las hormonas se desbocan con hilarantes consecuencias, cuando Harry, Hermione y Ron caen en las garras de un viejo demonio, el amor.
Hermione, what are you doing? And what happened to you?
No, I've just escaped. I mean, left Cormac under the mistletoe.
You've got the sort of carnal delights of Ron's relationship with Lavender Brown, but on the other side you've got the sort of very much sweeter, kind of much more tender Harry and Ginny relationship, which is much more all that sort of classic English kind of romantic, unspoken love, very kind of, love in the time of cholera. I can't say anything, it's that sort of thing. But it's been great fun to be able to do that, but it also, I think, it is balanced out very well by Ron's relationship, which is it's pure physicality.
It was a little bit weird at first, but a few because obviously I'd only just met her as well. We'd only known each other for a few days, so that sort of made it a little bit more uncomfortable. But but it seemed to go all right. After the first few, we did about sort of 10 takes.
Hermione kind of starts to realise that she has feelings for Ron, and just as she's doing that, Ron kisses this girl called Lavender, who kind of has a massive crush on him, and she's just really hurt and upset, and so they spend kind of the rest of the film arguing and not really getting on.
Slughorn's having Christmas do, and we're meant to bring someone.
I expect you'll be taking McLagan. He's in the Slug Club, isn't he?
Actually, I was going to ask you.
Really?
Really?
She's very dominating and feisty, and Hermione doesn't like somebody taking, stepping on her territory, really.
What's she doing here? I'm asking the same question. What happened to his girlfriend? What happened to his friend?
She's a bit of a psycho.
And it's been really fun to do all these, these scenes that are a bit more concentrated with just one other character.
And for you, it was difficult to do these scenes?
I think it was difficult because it was something that I hadn't done as for this character in this film.
Mientras los amigos de Harry están preocupados en los asuntos serios del amor, aquel que no debe ser nombrado y sus seguidores están ocupados tramando algo. Quizá en esta película habrá monstruos de ojos verdes, pero son mucho más inofensivos que este tipo, que está haciendo todo el trabajo sucio para Voldemort.
He's actually a man, Fenrir Greyback, he's actually a man, even though, he has werewolf characteristics. I'm not transformed.
We moulded his head and started sculpting. The makeup then started to design itself. We had one concept drawing that had a really nice flavour that we were aiming to achieve, but
as you go through the process, once you've got an actor and you know how they're going to behave and how they feel, it begins to design itself. Pieces are attached, apart from the inside the forehead, which we're about to do. Once we've done that, we've basically got all the kit on. After that, then we've got to start colouring, putting the hair on, the wig and all of that, and blending it all in. So we're about halfway.
Really just visual. A lot of his characters, the savagery has to come from inside. So a lot of the hard work's done by the guys in the prosthetics department and the camera and the wardrobe, making that look. And when I look, as you can see here, he's scary. I know I'm scary.
First time I saw him was in the woods, and I saw him fully dressed walking up towards me, which was rather intimidating to say the least. It took me about 3 days to say hello. Yeah, really? Yeah, he's terrifying. He can't smile very much because his face is quite,
stiff.
Yeah, relatively, and he looks like a real unpleasant guy.
Ahora descubriremos por qué Dumbledore ha estado desapareciendo en sus misiones secretas y veremos uno de los sets más mágicos que se han creado. Estamos en uno de los callejones más importantes del mundo, el Callejón Diagon. Hemos visitado sets increíbles, pero creo que dejamos el mejor para el final, porque vamos a ser los primeros muggles en entrar en la tienda de Freddy George. Sortilegios Weasley. Miren, una poción de amor. Esta me la llevo. ¡Wow! Un frisbee de cocodrilo. Increíble, impresionante, ¿no? ¿Se imaginan tener una tienda como esta cerca? ¿Qué clase de regalos le estarían dando a sus amigos en Navidad?
I love the Weasley Wizard wheezes, apart from the fact that it's so difficult to say. That's a very extravagant set in terms of imagination-run riots, which the art department have made just a sensational job of making.
Into the cauldron, handsome!
We have a giant 17-foot Weasley twin in their shop, which has to take its hat off and do various things. Yeah, we built it practically.
Además de ser un gran imitador de sillas, pronto sabremos que Slughorn tiene la clave de la información más valiosa que va a llevar a Harry y a Dumbledore a emprender un viaje muy importante.
Once again, I must ask too much of you, Harry. Harry grows up in the film, takes responsibility, and Dumbledore becomes his friend. Instead of being the headmaster and the student, we get the two friends, Harry and Dumbledore. And they go on a journey together.
I like riding around on trains. It takes my mind off things.
Oh, unpleasant to behold, isn't it? The tale is thrilling, if I say so myself. But now is not the time to tell it. Take my arm.
The development of Harry's relationship with Dumbledore and how that changes from being a teacher and a student to kind of the general of an army and a foot soldier, which is Harry's role.
It's really, I think, the beginning of the end of Harry's journey, that moment, and it should be very profound and very moving, of huge importance to Harry.
There are obviously some really challenging sequences, like the scene in the cave, where Harry and Dumbledore go in search of something called a Horcrux.
It's quite playful, quite funny, and then towards the end of the movie it gets really dark and intense again.
Which you love, huh?
Yeah, no, I love all the dark, intense stuff, of course.
ever-present threat of Voldemort taking on the world, and the knowledge that Harry is getting nearer and nearer to his destiny, which is his final meeting with Voldemort.
Gracias por acompañarme en este increíble recorrido. Nos reímos, aprendimos de las hormonas, supimos lo doloroso que es jugar al Quidditch. Bueno, conocimos al profesor Slughorn y al aterrador Greyback. Pero ahora nos tenemos que ir.
Hola, Latin America.
You believe in magic?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course I do. Do you?
Yes, of course.
If I was going to play Harry and I was older and I went back in time to the beginning of the franchise, I would play Sirius Black if I could.
Because I like to describe it as kind of sex potions and rock and roll.
I love this film.